spam or spam? Which should bother you more? Strange question that we're going to talk about today on the Carefree Cooks Code. I'm Chef Todd Moore, and this is the Carefree Cooks Code, every Tuesday live at noon Eastern. Here's our challenge. How can home cooks cook freely with creativity, confidence, and pride while ignoring recipes and still impressing themselves and others with what they cook? Well, the answer is found in becoming empowered with how cooking works, using dependable and repeatable methods of cooking that work for any ingredient, for any diet, and any desire, just like chefs do. And we'll know we've cracked it when everyone sees cooking as an exciting and rewarding way to improve their relationships, their lifestyles, and their health through better food and cooking. This is the Carefree Cooks Code. Hey, welcome back to the Carefree Cooks Code, everyone. It's so good to be back. We are live every Tuesday at noon Eastern. If you're shocked by this fact, you should have gone to webcookingclasses.com/live, and you would have been on part of my alert system, because I always send out a message about 15 minutes before I'm going to go live. Something pops into my head I want to talk to you about, or it's every Tuesday at noon when we do this again and again, because we're the Carefree Cooks, right? We create our own recipes. We don't follow anyone else's. We bring our friends and family together. We learn every time we cook. We define our own cooking styles. Why? Because we practice pro methods, and this is maybe the biggest difference with Carefree Cooks. You wind up loving your cooking. I hear too many people with such great remorse about how much they hate their cooking. And I just know if you become a carefree cook, you suddenly love your cooking. And that's what we're all about, is encouragement, enjoyment, empowerment, enlightenment, elevation, any other E word I can think of. That's what the Carefree Cooks community is about. We are a food and cooking community based on the web cooking classes lessons and our memberships and other people that join us from the public as well. I've got a What Am I for you today. Here's the What Am I. Check that out right there. It might be a little hard to see, so I'll tell you what it is. There's a pig there, so that's pork. I see a salt shaker. There's a glass of water. Some potato starch, that's what it is. Sugar, and that's some kind of chemistry thing there. There's an N, it looks like salt, sodium nitrate. Pork, salt, water, potato starch, sugar, sodium nitrate. Tell me in the comments what it is below. And if you know how to take a test, you've already got the answer. That's a topic for another day, the way I used to write and give tests in culinary school. But that's not where we are today. We're not in culinary school. Welcome back, Chef Moore. Hello, all my good friends, all my Carefree Cooks everywhere. I just finished my 7th trip to Hawaii. It's really good to be back home. It's a long, long way from home. Here I am in rainy, cloudy, misty downtown Baltimore, Maryland, Moore Publishing headquarters. I'm in my own office again. I've got an internet connection that I could count on. Few things make me happier than that. And look, I'm really sorry I had to cancel last week's show. I apologize also for the audio quality on the previous show, but I was way up a volcano in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of an ocean, 1,800 miles from the nearest continent, so let's just agree that probably live streaming video is not the best way to go at that point. And you guys know I love Hawaii, but it's not for the obvious reasons, because I've been going to Hawaii for 20 years now, and I love Hawaii because it's the greatest food melting pot on earth. It's where my food gurus reside. You know, if you're leading a tribe of people the way that I am, I can't keep talking about the same thing over and over again. I've got to educate myself. If I'm telling you empower, enlighten, elevate, educate, if I'm trying to inspire you to do that, then I've got to do it myself, right? And Hawaii is my holistic retreat for culinary recharging. Let's just put it that way. It's Western bland and boring food detox, okay? I'm going to a detox center to get away from the Western bland and boring food because I learn so much every time I visit Kauai or Maui or Oahu or the Big Island, because there are things put in front of me that I never would have thought of without being given a new perspective on it. But there's two keys that we're going to talk about today: being presented with that new perspective, but being open to it as well. And that's why I want you to stick around to the end of today's show, especially so, because I'm eventually going to make a point in a roundabout way, but your mind has to be open to it. And that's what I think my job is. I think I go all over the globe, I find new ideas, and then I bring them to you. I see myself as the person who offers new perspectives. But what you do with these concepts is entirely up to you. I can offer you a new perspective, and some people gobble it up. Like Nilohe here from the Big Island in Hawaii. He's a lucky guy. He's like the only male goat on a big goat farm. That's a whole nother story. Some people gobble up more information, kind of like Spam in Hawaii. Hawaiians love Spam. And I long believed the myths and the bad press that this canned ham has gotten over the years. It's always the butt of bad food jokes. Ha! Ha! Butt! Pork butt! Butt of food jokes. That's a really good culinary joke. Come on! Thumbs up! Hearts for the butt joke. But look, the reason that Hawaiians love Spam so much is it's because the Hormel Corporation, which manufactures Spam, provided 15 million cans to the Allied troops every week. 15 million cans a week during World War II. So about 6 million cans of Spam are eaten each year in Hawaii. Still, that's about 5 cans per person. And some stores got to put purchase limits on it. Some stores have to limit people to just 5 cans each. Otherwise, they run into these constant shortages. You get the idea. Spam is a very good thing. Spam is a delicacy in Hawaii. But I know you're crinkling your nose right now. Oh, geez, Chef Todd. But that's my point. Admit it. You know nothing about Spam. And you're still offended that I even brought it up, right? You know nothing, but you have a strong opinion. Spam is a processed meat product just like any other that you're already eating. And Spam has 6 ingredients: pork, salt, water, potato starch, sugar, and sodium nitrate. If you're eating bacon, if you're eating sausage, if you're eating deli meats, you're eating the same thing as Spam, maybe even worse. And before you turn your nose up at what is already a delicacy in Hawaii, before you dismiss it immediately, perhaps you should consider your preconceived attitudes about other food items. Because this show is not about Spam. You didn't think I was going to do a whole Spam commercial for a half hour, did you? I can't stand the stuff. I'm not here to tell you it's good. I think it's terrible. I've tried it. It's salty. I don't like it. But that's me. Spam I am, Spam I'm not, you know? And you'd probably say that you don't like Spam either, but you may never have tried it. And that's the point. So now that you're a carefree cook and you're confident in the methods of cooking, that you can create any original dish for any diet or any desire, I want you to ask yourself something. Are there foods that you think you don't like and you're not even sure why? Right? You've always thought it. Are there foods that you're prejudging without ever really trying them? Because this might be an opportunity for a whole new way to look at foods. If you're a carefree cook and you've got at least 8 cooking methods at your disposal, well, why not try them with this food that you hate so much? Maybe you didn't like tomatoes as a child because your mom didn't cook them correctly. Sorry, Mom, it might be true. You ruined tomatoes for me because you never cooked them right. But then when I was an adult, I cooked them in a different way and I loved them. Those people that are open to new ideas, those people that are open to new concepts, new perspectives on an old item, Those are the people that are the happiest. Those are the most creative people. But other people can find new ideas intrusive, new ideas bothersome, right? Do you know anybody like this? These are the people who go ahead, try and correct them. Try and give them a new idea. Just try and point them in a new direction, and they'll tell you to bug off. How dare you tell me what to do? How dare you insinuate that I might be wrong? And any message sent to this person that they disagree with, they think is spam. Spam! It's spam, right? The guy is spamming me. He's telling me stuff that I don't want to hear and I don't want to know, and it's a spam. Well, the problem is, it's not spam just because you disagree with it. The definition of spam is unsolicited messages sent in bulk by email. And people yell spam at me all the time. But let me first say, it is a very small percentage of the people that I interact with every day. The great majority of my fans, every single person with us now, every follower, student, subscriber, all the Carefree Cooks, you're all fantastic. You're all curious, inquisitive, you're polite, you're encouraging people. It's just not the 100% that I wish it was sometimes. And if you subscribe to any newsletter or my emails, if you liked my Chef Todd Moore page, if you agree with something I said or you disagree with something I say, you can't call it spam if you asked me to send you my message. You asked to be included in my messages. And if you see a paid advertisement on Facebook, it's not spam. It's an advertiser that paid Facebook for your eyeballs. So let me ask you this. Take it a little broader and compare it to the meat that you think you don't like in the blue can and the ideas that may have been sent to you that you may not like. Have you ever noticed the advertisements in a magazine? Did you ask them to put those advertisements in front of you? You already paid for the magazine, and they shove a solicitation in front of you too? Spam! It's spam! Isn't that spam? Have you been watching your favorite TV show and a commercial comes on? Did you ask for that commercial? No, it's spam. It's more spam. I subscribe to HBO, premium cable service. I pay a monthly fee. And before every show, I got to watch 2 or 3 commercials for their other shows. Spam, 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 spam. And you know what? Let me take it one step further. Let me relate it to your cooking at home, because that's who we are, right? I said earlier, we're a food and cooking community. How do you feel about a recipe that tells you which brand of product to use? How about a recipe that tells you to use Campbell's soup, use Philadelphia cream cheese, use Kraft American cheese? I didn't ask for a commercial in the middle of my recipe. I wanted instruction on how to make the dish. Isn't that what recipes pretend to be? Instructions? But they're not, because they go ahead and they try and sell you something right in the middle of what they're trying to help you out with. These are the kinds of recipes that are the worst spammers of all. Talk about unsolicited. Don't tell me what kind of cream cheese I want to buy. I might not even use cream cheese in it. And that's my point today. I told you to stick around because it's going to be roundabout. You don't need to be a victim of spam or spam for that matter. Enjoy your TV shows and just ignore the commercials. Go get something to eat. Finish your cooking. Go ahead, flip the pages of that magazine, see all the great photos, but simply move past the sales part if it's not for you. Use recipes as a guideline for the type of dish that you want to create, but don't let it tell you what brand of ingredient to use, even if it's spam. even if they're telling you to use spam, because then I guess it would make it a spam. Oh, I've confused myself in all this. What am I even talking about? The ultimate point here is that you can't let stuff bother you when you're creating it on your own. Right? When you set the definitions of what is good and what is not, you can never be bothered by spam. or spam. You know, if you think that processed meats in a can are terrible, well, then you'll consider it spam. And it's spam, right? Or if you love meat in a blue can, you say it's spam. And then it becomes a positive term. But if you hate advertising messages, that's definitely spam. But if you cook with the foods that you desire, make it a creative process, then you should always be open to new ideas. If you ignore the messages that you don't like, if you ignore the foods that you don't like because you have a preconceived notion or you've made some kind of judgment and you don't ever act on the food items that are honest, the messages that are honest that might benefit you, all these things could be the start of a creative process that you should be open to. That's the message today. Be open to new ideas, new concepts, new foods even. So the question today was, which is worse, spam or spam? Which should bother you more? Well, they're both worse if you have preconceived notions that take control of you, or neither of them is worse if you see a new idea, a new concept, a new inspiration that could lead to something else. Or you discover that it is bad and you don't like it. But you shouldn't be annoyed by new ideas. You shouldn't be annoyed by new concepts that come across your face. This, in my opinion, is where happiness and creativity is found. And there's a quote, I think it's a Mark Twain quote. The reason, what is it? The reason I miss opportunities is because I always look for what's wrong with it first. The reason I miss opportunities is because I always look for what's wrong with it first. And that's what I'm trying to help you avoid today. Because my mind, my curiosity, my desire to know the hows and whys of things, if it wasn't as wide open as it is, if I didn't constantly go out seeking new information, I would never have experienced some of the amazing worldwide food finds that I have over the years. I wouldn't have all this great stuff to share with you. I'm open-minded. I'm accepting. I learn from everyone. I want you to be the same way too. And since I've been away for 2 weeks seeking out these new things, I haven't been home. I haven't been keeping up with our Carefree Cooks community, but I promise I'm going to be back in the community, liking, commenting things today. I was in there a little bit this morning. So the dish of the week has got to be what Chef Todd ate in Hawaii. Do you want to see some of the crazy things I ate in Hawaii? Not so crazy, maybe. Thumbs up, hearts, if you'd like to see what I ate in Hawaii. All right, let me give you 5 quick ones. Some of them were fine restaurants. Some of them were food trucks, things like that. I ate tacos on the side of the road, and they were some of the best tacos I ever had. The first thing I wanted to show you is this mahi-mahi. One of the things I love about Hawaii is the fresh fish. I mean, you trip over it just about. This is mahi-mahi, nice grill marks on it. It's on a colorful cabbage, carrot, and pepper slaw. That beurre blanc sauce that you could see was a truffle beurre blanc. And one of the things I hate about truffle is people so overdo it. I mean, you could smell a guy's plate from across the restaurant with too much truffle fries. I wish they would stop with the truffle fries, to be honest. But this had just a hint of it, that just made it so kind of aromatic, and a nice little garnish there, crispy kale. Some fried kale that gave it a nice color and crisp as well. A lot of contrast going on that plate, a lot of height to the plate, a lot of different colors, a lot of textures, really an exquisite plate of food. One of my favorite things in all of Hawaii that I go back for again and again is the laulau. Laulau is a tea leaf, not like tea where you drink, T-I, it's closer to palm tree, I guess. It's a tea leaf. And they stuff it with shrimp and scallops and fresh fish, sometimes lobster. They put a lot of bean sprouts in there because bean sprouts have a lot of moisture to them, helps with the steam. Shredded veggies you'll find, carrots and things, all different incarnations of it all over Hawaii, served either with the rice in the lau lau, steamed rice, or separately. A lot of times it's sushi rice or sticky rice. And one of the things I love, and I don't know if you can see there on top of the rice, it's like shredded nori, shredded seaweed that puts a little crunch, and a little more earthy flavor to the rice. I see it in a lot of restaurants in Hawaii, and it's a really, really good garnish. Just crumbled up seaweed on top of the rice. It gives you the contrast of color and flavor and texture. Things we talk about all the time with plate presentation and cooking, the contrast and harmony of foods. I see it again and again in Hawaii. This one was sinful. Really, really sinful. This is a piece of ahi tuna, which I really just want them to scare with the heat. I don't want them to cook it. Just show it to the grill and let it be scared. It's ahi tuna topped with crab meat and a hollandaise sauce and then broiled under the broiler. This is over roasted fingerling potatoes, onions, and asparagus ends. The drizzle sauce is a balsamic reduction. Again, contrast of soft and crunchy, of bitter balsamic and very mellow, eggy hollandaise. It's just really incredible what some of the chefs are doing there with the fusion. I don't often eat steak. I don't eat a lot of steak. I like steak, but I try not to eat a lot of it. But I'm in Hawaii. This filet mignon, the slice of tenderloin, this was cooked perfectly. It was really tender, really soft. Again, on roasted potatoes, a steamed broccoli rabe, a single roasted carrot. Like this carrot had the greens on the end of it, looked like it was just pulled from the garden, poached or steamed perfectly, like it wasn't hard, but it still had to be cut with a knife. It was just really, really something. One of the things I loved about this steak, and it shows you the simple things, they put a Hawaiian sea salt, like a crust of Hawaiian sea salt on top. And if you're on a low sodium diet, you don't want that. But to me, again, it added there was a crunch of the salt. There was a contrast of flavor with the saltiness on my tongue as well. Topped with a garlic shallot compound butter that melted and drizzled on the side, served with a little ramekin of their own steak sauce. So I say to myself, if you are going to have steak, Todd, a local upcountry, Paniolo raised Maui cattle company just 5 miles from the restaurant. How can you pass that up? Come on. Couldn't be any fresher. The best fish in Hawaii, in my opinion, is opakapa'a, or they call it opa fish. It's Hawaiian pink snapper. It is just a really soft but meaty, firm but flaky fish. And anytime they have it in season, anytime they can get it there, as soon as they get those first 3 letters out, opa, I'll take that. Thank you very much. Here it is, grilled over a mushroom risotto, a lemon, and basil beurre blanc as well. Are you salivating? Is that enough for you? Of some of that's only 5 things that I had, and I was there for a little bit more than 2 weeks. Even the airplane food was good at one point. And I got so much more to tell you about my food travels and all the people that I meet, all the people who impress and inspire me to start expanding my cooking. I've been doing this for decades, and I still don't feel like I'm wide enough. I still don't feel like my mind is wide enough. But look, there's not enough time left today for me to talk about all of them. But I can't forget about the what am I. Today's what am I? Well, you might have guessed it. I hope you guessed it. It's Spam. Spam has only 6 ingredients in it, and I mentioned them twice today. Spam is the what am I today. And speaking of unwanted content, oh boy, bring it right together, right? You should go ahead and spam your friends. No, if they're friends, they want to hear from you. It's not spam, that's my point. Like or share this video, please, with them right now. Tell Facebook that it's really good. Like it yourself, too. That way nobody can call you a spammer if you want. And if you'd like to start your own culinary journey and be able to cook any ingredient for any diet or any desire, even if you think it's offensive right now, you might not be using the right cooking method. It might be fantastic tomorrow, and you'll open up a whole new can of flavors to you. What you're going to do is need to get my free guidebook. It's the 5 Forks to Carefree Cooking, and I'm going to show you the way. Go to 5forksguide.com to download your free copy right now. And until next Tuesday, where we will work together again toward breaking the Carefree Cooks Code, this is Chef Todd Moore reminding you that there's a method to your cooking success. Bye-bye, everyone.